Welcome back to LA Show. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in with me. Today we have just a little information. Me and Cisco are here. Welcome back, Cisco.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
No problem. No problem. So, we've been looking into things, a lot of things have, been circulating. But one thing caught our attention on another platform. Cisco, did you want to tell the people?
Yeah, no problem. And just to let you guys know, this is a what you can say a backdated video. We were supposed to do this a while back when it
Okay.
actually happened, but we just got caught up, and but basically on another platform uh that we've mentioned before, it's a million hits. He covers a lot of LA stuff. And there was a court hearing. I forgot the date of that court hearing, but as he's reporting on that basically they had a continuance on the Nipsey Hussle trial. This guy walks out with this big afro in LA. If I forget anything or you want to tighten up anything I say, just feel free. This guy comes out and it's obvious that they had a previous conversation inside the court building, and he comes out. He has a very distinct look, you know what I mean? Big old afro, and the
And
thing
this
that
was
caught
back on February 19th. Sorry, I just.
February, okay, February 19th. Yes. So the thing that caught me was when he said his name. He said his name was Marquise Villanueva, and I was like, wow. Villanueva, could this guy be related to Shermy Villanueva, who's the
Right.
mysterious guy who has, some he was able to elude the the district attorney and not have to show up for the grand jury. He's the guy who didn't get subpoenaed to the grand jury.
He's
He's
also
the
the
guy. He
who ran off first,
yeah.
before
I
anybody
was
else.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He's the
Yeah.
first guy to run off. And I'm not saying that Marquise is his relative or anything. I just found it interesting. We thought we thought we'd let you guys know that it was interesting that this guy is following the case. He has a similar last name. It might be a reach, and we're not pointing our finger to this guy in particularly. I'm not pointing the finger at this guy. It's just interesting, that this guy has the same last name and he happens to be following the case. Yes, there's a large Latin community in Los Angeles, so that could, Villanueva is probably a lot of people's last names, but I just found it interesting, and there's some other interesting things about the guy too. But I'll wait to see if LA wants me to share that.
Well, I think we should. And pretty much, I did want you guys to see this guy because of the way that he interacted with a million hits and the way that he also answered a million hits questions, which were pretty straightforward. And if you watch it, you'll see it. So I'm not saying that he does know Shermy. No, we're not saying that. But what we're saying is this guy with the same last name as Shermy was in the courtroom claiming to be following the case.
Right. And he gave the when Mason Knight asked him, how do we follow you, he gave an old uh Instagram account that he no longer uses, It doesn't exist anymore. But I was able to find his current um, Instagram account. But what I found interesting when I was trying to find out who this guy is that at one time he was obviously uh, I don't want to say up and coming, but I would say he was an amateur actor, and he played in a real short horror film in 2017. But the thing that struck me is that his IMDb page, all at one time it was all full, had his picture, it had different pictures for him, and all of those pictures were taken down for whatever reason or deleted from the database of IMDb. So it just made it like, okay, we have Sherman, who's a mysterious guy, and now this guy Marquise comes out of the courtroom with this very, obviously distinct look. He says his name is Marquise Villanueva. He gives an Instagram account which he cannot be reached at, but I was able to find the real one, and it's just interesting. It's just interesting. This and I think this case from the start has been just like this in doing research, trying to find different whenever we look up names and stuff, it's like, wow, you find all these like mysterious characters with just mysterious different things behind them or on that are affiliated with these people.
But that's how it would be if it was an assassination. Because if it was just a gang, shoot 'em up, bang, bang thing, you know, I don't think it would be this elusive. I don't think so.
No, I mean you're absolutely right. That is, I will say, just to qualify that sometimes people do get away with murder. So it could be like a unsolved murder, but the there's not like a lot of mystery behind it. Oh, it was a guy, he was in the wrong neighborhood, he got rolled up on, boom, 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 and the guys got away.
But not a guy who has several different names,
Right.
who doesn't have any family members that are posting, anything about him,
Yeah.
period.
Right.
No type of information that would lead back to him in any type of way. What's a SoundCloud account? Everybody got one of those nowadays. Um, and also the fact that
And
he,
several different, and it's not just even one sound counter cloud. And that's the thing about
yes,
this guy.
I found the second one.
You're talking
That,
about you specifically talking about Eric Holder right now, right?
yeah, Eric Coder,
Yeah.
yeah,
So he has multiple SoundCloud accounts, multiple Facebooks, multiple Instagrams.
just
You know,
interesting.
yeah, you can't pull up any of his criminal record online. His from the grand jury transcripts, his parts of his criminal background is redacted. So it's like, nobody, we can't pull up anything about this guy, and then when we pull up one guy, we get a whole another face that connects with the person and the name and the birth date.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen any of the platforms following the case, even other than other than your channel, to even highlight that. You know, I think early on some people had it on Instagram, but I haven't seen it on any of the channels that are consistently following the case. And that's why I've always called Eric Ronald Holder Jr. a ghost, because
Mm-hmm.
he has no, uh, what I would say, authentic footprints on the internet.
Exactly. I mean, people, showed me a picture of a high school picture, allegedly, or a I don't know, a school picture of this guy, but you know that there are a lot of tricks on this internet,
Absolutely.
and I
Absolutely.
say that with the most sincerity because I want you guys to know that there are a lot of tricks on the internet. It's just plain and simple. So I take everything with a grain of salt, you know. Um, age progression shots, that's the stuff that police use. You know, they can do anything.
Yep.
Um,
And the accusation of Photoshop is just um overused in certain platforms because I'm not going to say it's too easy to find out, but any pictures that are photoshopped, it's easily, all you got to do is run them through a program, and it'll define all the layers, and it'll reveal that it's a Photoshop picture. So to just lash out and say that this is photoshopped and that's photoshopped, or that's just ridiculous. But what we're specifically talking about, or what LA is specifically talking about, there's a lot of games that people play to kind of draw conclusions on certain things.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, anything is possible right now where we are in this case. It's pretty much deadlocked. We're all locked down on quarantine. Um, and the next court date is June 8th. So he
which
has more time to go, a little more
right,
time to cook.
which I would say is probably going to get continued again.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
I think it's going to get continued again. Only thing I would say if it wouldn't be is if behind the scenes, which is common, a lot of times when you get locked up, they try to wear you out, and draw your case out. And behind the scenes, the DAs are offering deals,
Hmm.
and some people get tired. They don't want to fight their case anymore. They'll be like, well, hey, I'll just take this deal. And, it's state time. So whatever the time they're offering, I have a chance of doing only 50% of that time.
Well, I know I sent you that interview on that podcast that um Noriega, the lawyer of Carrie Lathan, did, and she pretty much said the same thing.
Well,
Um,
and I'm hoping, I don't want to get messy. I'm not taking shots at the channel, and but the simple fact that that lawyer was on there, um, a lot of questions could have been other questions could have been asked regarding the Eric Holder trial, um, just because she's a lawyer in LA, a criminal defense lawyer at that. A lot of things could have been said. Um, she's thinking that it's gonna get played out. You know, um, I would like to see it go to trial. I'm not gonna say I disagree with her because she's the expert in the field, and I understand from my own experience that people get tired and you get worn out. We know from uh, that's another video that hasn't been put out, LA, and that's the fact that we know specifically that Eric Holder leaves uh, the county jail and goes to uh, the medical facility or the medical unit twice a week. So that's another thing that could play on his mental stability, and he might get worn out, drugged up, and take a deal also. Who
mhm.
knows? Who knows?
Well, like we said about this case, it's just very interesting. And I mean, like I said before, I mean, come on now. Most people know people in the hood. You mean to tell me that everybody don't know this guy?
And not only that, and those who know ain't talking.
Because I'm from the hood. I have experience in the hood, you know. I mean, you know everybody by name, first
Yeah,
name, keep it moving, you know, bada boom, bada bang. You mean
right.
this guy? You know, it's just crazy. But, you know, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
No
And
child friend. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
oh no, no, you good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna drive on the factors, like you said. Nobody talking about this. No childhood friends. Nobody, talks about this dude. Nobody, even from the standpoint of let's say if they had negative comments about him, they're let's say a Nipsey fan from the hood, knew Nipsey, knew Eric Holder. He's a childhood friend, and he just, you got a lot of other people. You got other people to talk, but it's this is the one where nobody's talking, and that's just even more mysterious. That's
Well,
why I call it, that's why I call him the ghost.
well, I think that, you know, it's about time for some people to get answers because, you know, if anything, this is just going to get spread out into something for, you know, those old time videos where, you know, people are just rambling on and not making sense anymore. You know,
Well, that's
I hope
already
that,
happening. That's already happening. That's already happening because the vast majority of the channels following the case are speculative. And I'm not gonna say there's nothing wrong with being speculative, but if that's your whole thing, there's no end to that. But when you lay out the facts, as they are, as they come to you, as you find them, which is what uh you and my contribution to this channel has attempted to do.
oh yeah.
You know, when you lay out the facts, there's no speculation. Because the speculation just gets into I don't like to use the word conspiracy theory, but it gets into a lot of far out ideas. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, I
But
believe
you,
with all the people, just to wrap it up, I believe that with all the people that were out there, if it was just a run up and gun, that the story would have been dead. Even though he's big time celebrity, the story would have been dead, and there would have been no room for speculation
but the
because
thing, so if you
so many people would have had, so many people's phones would have recorded it, so many people's phone conversation post shooting would have gone all the way out. um it wouldn't have took 2 days to catch him. He probably would have got killed on the streets, uh seeming that he really didn't have the way it's mapped out in the transcripts. He really didn't have no really place to go. um
exactly. So
you
you
know what I'm
mean to tell
saying?
me broke dude goes up, guns down the probably the rich, he done stood beside in a minute. You mean to tell me he just runs up, guns him down, and doesn't take no money, no jewelry, no nothing? And you have a female that you've only been dealing with for so long, take you and get you a hotel room?
Well, since we're on the run up and gun, we might as well throw in the another Nipsey connection. I mean, we could go into it deeper later on another video, but I just want to, because that was another run up and gun down, and that's Kid Cali
Yeah, yeah,
at the
yeah,
at the house party. That's
yeah.
another run up and gun down, and it didn't take time for old boy to get for old boy to get caught, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. You guys in the comments can correct me on that story if it took time to catch him. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's where it's a big crowd. Dude thought he was from allegedly. This is the story. Dude thought he was from Rolling 90s Crip. Dude was from a blood neighborhood in Inglewood. I don't remember which gang he was from. And he runs up, guns him down, and shortly thereafter he's caught. And that story didn't go into speculatory land. It's a done deal.
Well, I think we covered, a lot of things that we've still been holding on in our heads. And, we have every right to, keep peeking in, keep looking, trust and believe we're still digging. Um, I know this video came late, but like we said, we have been sitting on a lot of things that, you know, that we've just been looking at. It's nothing wrong to look. It doesn't matter about the speed, It's all about just looking and mapping things out because we have a lot, don't we, Cisco? We have a lot of
Yeah.
information. A lot.
Hmm.
This is a really, really interesting case. If you are new into the true crime or, if you're into that type of stuff, but this stuff happens every day, to young black men, women, children. So I hope you guys don't just use this as entertainment and actually, learn something from this type of stuff. We'll be back with more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me and Cisco.